The William McNeel case, when a routine traffic stop becomes a legal and ethical flashpoint. On February 19, 2025, in Jacksonville, Florida, what started as a simple traffic stop escalated into a controversial confrontation that raised serious questions about police conduct, citizen rights, and the fragile dynamic between law enforcement and the communities they serve. At the heart of the incident were William Anthony McNeel Jr., a 22-year-old black man, and Officer Donald Bowers of the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, JSO. It all started with headlights. At approximately 4:17 p.m., Officer Bowers observed McNeel driving a silver 2012 Kia Sorento near West Palm Avenue and Columbus Avenue. According to Bowers, the vehicle's headlights were not activated during what he described as inclement weather. In Florida, drivers are required to use headlights not only during rain but also in other conditions where visibility is compromised. In addition, Bowers claimed McNeel was not wearing a seatbelt. Although it wasn't raining at the time, Bowers initiated a traffic stop, interpreting the weather as poor enough to warrant headlights. That small judgment call quickly spiraled into a full-blown altercation, from disagreement to defiance. Upon approaching the vehicle, Bowers found McNeel opening his driver's side door. When asked why, McNeel explained that his window wasn't working. Bowers informed him of the alleged violations, but McNeel immediately pushed back, stating, "It's not raining," and asked, "Is there a reason you're pulling me over?" The interaction quickly escalated. When Bowers asked for a driver's license, registration, and proof of insurance, McNeel refused and repeatedly demanded, "Call your supervisor." He then shut the driver's door and locked it. From inside the vehicle, McNeel could be heard shouting, "What's your reason for pulling me over?" Bowers warned that he was under arrest for resisting and demanded he exit the vehicle or the window would be broken. McNeel continued to refuse. Backup officers soon arrived, boxing in McNeel's SUV. One officer attempted to reason with him through the passenger window, which was apparently functioning, but McNeel remained defiant. At that point, Bowers smashed the driver's side window. Several officers pulled McNeel from the vehicle and wrestled him to the ground. He was handcuffed despite resisting arrest. Body camera footage captured part of the incident, but the most controversial moments came from a cell phone video McNeel secretly recorded himself. What the body cams didn't show. The footage captured on McNeel's phone, which would surface later, showed Officer Bowers punching McNeel in the face shortly after breaking the window, then punching him again while he was being forced to the pavement. Neither of these actions was mentioned in the police report, nor did the body cams clearly capture them. The video raised immediate concerns about excessive force and whether Bowers fabricated details to justify his actions. According to the report, McNeel had allegedly reached toward the floorboard of the SUV, where police later found a large knife. However, neither the body cam nor McNeel's video showed any movement that supported this claim. Additionally, officers found a marijuana edible, a pipe, and a scale in the center console, as well as marijuana in McNeel's pants pocket. McNeel admitted to using marijuana after work, but denied breaking any traffic laws, charges, and a strategic guilty plea. McNeel was charged with 6 offenses: possession of under 20 grams of marijuana, possession of drug paraphernalia, resisting an officer without violence, driving with a suspended license, failure to use headlights in poor weather, failure to wear a seatbelt. 2 days later, on February 21, 2025, McNeel pleaded guilty to 2 of the charges: resisting arrest without violence and driving with a suspended license. The other 4 charges were dismissed. He was sentenced to time served, the 2 days he had already spent in jail. At first, McNeel did not file a formal complaint. It wasn't until he reviewed the video on his phone that he realized how damaging the footage was, not just to his case, but to the credibility of the police officers involved. The video that changed everything. McNeel eventually released the video to the public. It showed, unmistakably, Officer Bowers punching him twice. First while he was still seated in the car, then again during the takedown. This contradicted the official police narrative, which claimed McNeel had reached for a knife and that no unnecessary force was used. McNeel then hired legal representation, including Ben Crump, a high-profile attorney known for taking on cases involving police brutality and racial injustice. According to his lawyers, McNeel suffered a chipped tooth, a lacerated lip, a concussion, and short-term memory issues from the incident. He required multiple stitches and faced a long recovery. JSO launched an internal investigation but claimed that no officers violated any laws. The department did acknowledge that they would review whether Officer Bowers had broken any internal policies. In the meantime, Bowers was stripped of law enforcement duties pending the outcome. Unanswered questions. The video opened a Pandora's box of uncomfortable questions. Why didn't Officer Bowers report the punches? Why did no other officers mention them in their reports? Was there a coordinated effort to conceal the use of force? Did Bowers lie about McNeel reaching for a weapon to justify the punches? Even more disturbing was the possibility that this wasn't an isolated incident but part of a broader culture of protecting fellow officers, even when they go too far. In a press conference, Sheriff T.K. Waters strongly denied race had anything to do with the incident. When a reporter suggested otherwise, Waters snapped, "Don't use the black thing." But the optics of the situation, a white officer aggressively arresting a young black man over a technical traffic violation, couldn't be ignored. Legal versus ethical responsibility. Legally, McNeel broke the law. He resisted arrest, drove with a suspended license, and was in possession of marijuana. However, the law is also clear on the limits of force. In Florida, battery is defined as intentional and unwanted physical contact. McNeel did not attack or threaten officers. He was non-compliant, yes, but not violent. So was punching him in the face twice necessary? If Bowers genuinely believed McNeel was reaching for a weapon, the use of force might be justified. But the videos don't support that claim. This raises the possibility that Bowers exaggerated or lied, perhaps to cover up an impulsive act of violence. What likely happened? Based on all the available information, one theory is that McNeel, knowing his license was suspended, tried to talk his way out of being arrested. He believed that by challenging the legality of the traffic stop, questioning the weather condition and the headlight requirement, he could avoid legal consequences. It was a tactic not unlike those used by so-called sovereign citizens, who attempt to argue their way out of arrests by claiming laws don't apply to them. Meanwhile, Bowers was likely frustrated and embarrassed by the prolonged encounter, especially after calling for backup. When McNeel refused to comply, Bowers may have snapped. His punches weren't about officer safety, they were about control and punishment. The lie about McNeel reaching for the knife may have been a calculated move, a built-in justification for the use of force in case the incident was scrutinized. Final thoughts. When everyone loses, the William McNeel case is not about a hero and a villain. It's about two people who made bad decisions. McNeel should have complied with police orders. The roadside is not the place to argue the law. That's what courtrooms are for. He also should not have been driving with a suspended license. But Officer Bowers failed in a deeper, more dangerous way. As a law enforcement officer, he had the training, the authority, and the responsibility to de-escalate. Instead, he used violence and possibly fabricated part of his report. This case reminds us how quickly a minor traffic stop can explode into a full-blown legal, medical, and ethical disaster. It also raises the chilling question. If McNeel hadn't filmed the encounter, would anyone have believed him?